Like a
they always seem to
3-and-D
put
type
Lonzo
guy.
Ball with other guards. Like, hey, this team has 5 guards. Throw Lonzo over there.
No.
Hello, Cochise County. Welcome to another episode of Cool FM Live Sports Show. I'm your host, Jon Berger. With me is Coach Baker and Julian Duran. We have another incredible week set up for you. I'm really excited about this. So we've got EEagle Plumbing highlights. They've been so great to us. We'd like to, thank them. So as we're going into our highlights.
Thank you, EEagle Plumbing.
Absolutely. Yep. EEagle Plumbing, expert service in Cochise County, trusted for everything from leaks to major repairs. They're just one call away. EEagle Plumbing, proud supporters of local sports. Thank you so much to them. They just do an excellent job all the time. Mm-hmm. So let's see more of them. So let's see some of those highlights. Who do we got first?
We got Ponytail highlights up first. Check these out.
We're coming up to bat.
Nice.
And she's gonna send a missile to the outfield. It's gonna hit the fence. And she's waiting on the runner. She had to slow down. Oh, that's
pitch is high.
And she's going.
She gets second. Man, she might have been able to get third, honestly. Stick them all together. Lee up to bat, by the way. Nice contact.
Oh. And she's going home. 11. 12.
Lead. After this, nice shot.
What a hit.
Gosh.
Oh.
She might. No, she's stopping at third. Dude, you're going to cook. Out at second. First base as she's going. There she goes. She makes contact. Oh, between the second baseman's legs.
Good.
Nice contact right up the middle.
Dropping.
And it drops
and gets through the center
goes
field.
all the way to the wall. Right fielder takes it, hits the cutoff. You've got 2 in scoring position now.
Scores 2.
Contact up the middle.
Yeah!
Rolls into the
Here
center
comes
field.
the girl, Cerna, to score and take the lead at 2-1.
And a runner
And we
makes
still
it
got
to
a runner.
second.
Make them play catch, John. What do I always say?
Nielsen makes contact up the middle of the shortstop over the first. Save! 3-1 Sierra Vista.
There you go.
Shot right up the middle.
Good
That's
hit.
going to get on base.
Pass ball, they're going to
Play at home.
and she made it.
Hey.
Did not like that call. They thought that was a strike. Uh-oh, what do we got here? Tagger. Oh.
Just a couple hours ago. And that is a shot at third, the hot corner. Again, getting some work. Throwing over to first. She had to get off the bag. Did she get there in time? Yes. Amazing job by Greta to adjust her body in midair. Sponsors that make it all possible. There's a shot right at second base. No! In and out of the glove. It dribbles into right field. It's putting up on the screen. That is a sharp shot into left field. That is fair. The left fielder was playing so far over. We'll have to get all the way over in the corner to get that ball. And that is another shot to third. And picked up. And we'll try to run down the base runner. And they do. Fades into black. That is a shot that goes into right field. An RBI single, possibly more for Jaden. No, she will stop at first, but another run scores. She gets a bat on it, and it gets past the second baseman. 2 more runs will score. The runner from first will head to third. Because it was supposed to be Natalia coming up. As Delaney runs home, slides in, tumbles in towards home. Pitch. That's a sharp shot. Gets past the shortstop into center field. 1 run will score. It is 11-3. Dugout. That is a sharp shot. That'll go into center field. 1 run will score. They'll send the person from second. Greta will go into third with a stand-up triple. That is a pop fly to center field. Left center field will bounce in. 27 runs across the plate. and not just settling for one, will go in for a stand-up double.
Oh man, look at those girls are amazing. The Sierra Vista girls taking off.
Shout out to Sierra Vista. That was a big win.
20-something runs in 5 innings.
That's insane.
Yeah,
That's
so
insane.
those girls are a beastly display of power. I think that's what Dan was saying. So that was really a good term for it. Okay, next up, who do we got?
We have Little League and American Legion highlights, so let's lead with that.
2-strike pitch. And that is a pop fly. If it stays fair, it is a fair ball into right field. And Luke Quarto will head into second base, sliding in. Will he go to third? He will on the overthrow. Will Rory hold him there? He does. So, a double turns into a triple. On third. And that is a smack into left field. An RBI single for Flores. Scores the first run of this game with one down. Here in the bottom of the third, it is 1-0 Sierra Vista. And that ball gets past the catcher. There will be no play at home. Flores slides in for the second run here in this inning and of this game. So Sierra Vista able to put the bat on the ball. Haymore will round third, head home. And he's safe at home. San Pedro Valley was out of it. That's a sharp shot going to second base off the heel of the glove. Not going to make a play. Another run will score. Runners back on the corners. 8-0 Sierra Vista. As he awaits the pitch from Wilson. And that is driven into center field. Center fielder coming in, makes the grab. The runner will advance from third. What a throw. And that is a sharp shot. Goes into second. We've seen him turn two before. They do it again. The Douglas defense turns their second double play. And there's a piece that goes into right field. No, they're not going to hold the runner. But it is a scoring RBI single for K. Call he wants. Throws it. There's a chopper to third. It throws all the way over to first base, and that is off the mark. One run will score. They might send another one, which means we have a tie game. Douglas do it twice. Get a double play in this game. They throw over to second. That throw goes high. Gets beyond the second baseman. And the runner will advance to third. So, a sure out at second gets overthrown. Runners on the corners. One down, and the go-ahead run standing 60 feet away. A shot into left field. We'll get past the left fielder. One run will score. They will send the other runner around. It is a stand-up 2 RBI double for Douglas, and they lead 9-7. 0-1 count. To Cole Isaacson with a smash to deep center field. That is going to go all the way to the wall. Cole is going to be having an inside the park home run. There is no doubt about it. He's having to go all the way to Domingo Paez. Wait, yes, Tommy, what were you doing? Just fooling with him on third? Inside the park home run. That would have been out of the park at most fields, but here on Arbin's field, that just goes all the way down. I'm always comparing. Oh, and the ball gets past the catcher. There's going to be no chance. Sliding in head first is safe at home. It is 3-1 distance. And that is a drive into right field. Will they tag up? They don't even need to. It'll get by the right fielder. He will have to run a long way to get that. 2 runs will score on sliding into third on a triple. And now he'll head off to home plate. And safe at home. Just like that. One swing of the bat to deep right field. They double their score. Tucson now leads 6-1 here in the top of the 5th.
Championship.
Who?
Blazers. Oh, look at that. And we're back. The countdown continues. Well, so Yeah, I
Good
mean,
stuff there,
those
too.
kids,
Yeah.
I'm telling you. So
Sierra Vista still representing well. I saw there against
Did-
Tucson.
that one in the park home run, that was very cool. I was watching that, and he hit that ball so far. Like I was saying, there was no fence. There were people playing on that back area, and they're kicking him out. That's like a 500-foot field. There's no home run. There's no home runs in that field.
Who's the guy that hit that? Did they catch? Did he say Cole?
It was either Isaacson or it was Leon.
Okay.
But man, that kid hauled. He was flying. Then he gets to third base, and it's just kind of like, am I still supposed to be?
Yeah.
You know,
That little
the
hesitation
ball
there.
isn't even coming in
He got
because
to walk home.
yeah, he got to after third base. You'd think he'd be running. So yeah, a lot of great baseball highlights as well. Next up, we've got.
Yeah. Lastly, we have the Smashers On Golf Championship for $1,000.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing.
Dude, very nicely done.
Voice of
no,
Arizona,
that could
but
be
not
the
the golf
200
swing
right
goes on
there.
Who knows where
That's right
going.
at the 200.
I don't know. That's.
Boom!
I don't even know
Don't
how
call
that
it a
hit.
comeback.
I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm doing.
Hey,
I don't even know.
well, don't try anymore because it's working. Because you have the
I
400
think I've
over there to the
already-
right.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I can hit that.
Whatever
yeah.
you do, don't aim.
Can I throw?
Yeah,
Am I
don't
allowed to
try.
Just going for the safe shot.
And he
Looks like
pulled
that
it.
might get hooked as well, but
pulled
will
it.
that register? It
Ah,
does
it could
register.
catch a
Is there enough
little-
to get on the edge?
Oh!
He does. Gets on the
Yeah.
edge. That's all that matters.
But what that did, and I'm not suggesting it was not a good move, but it gives Maddie a chance to hit that target to be the champion. It did shrink a little in size. You can see the 200 did shrink. She could tie or win. Yeah, it does look like she's setting up for the red target 200 point. But once again, we will see.
Or just go for the 7. I mean,
Yeah,
hey, that's
she's
another
good.
option as well.
I mean, nice. She's going to a different target. Looks like she's going for the 100.
Hey, we'll find out. She knows what she's doing. Being the kid's instructor here at the Sierra Vista Golf Center, up in the air to determine the champion tonight.
This is for the tie. Oh, the 700! She hit the 700! Went to the jugular. Dude, that was awesome. Yeah.
Our
that was
very
good.
first ever.
That was awesome. That was good. Yeah.
Let me have a chat. Let me have a chat here. First of all, can we get a big hand for Andrew Griesmer, the walk-on who put you through the ringer tonight, Maddie? Talk about your competitor this evening.
Yeah, he was tough. I mean, back-to-back shots, we were hitting pretty much the same. It was really tough.
Boy, I'll tell you what. So obviously we knew that you were aiming for the 7 right away, right when you stepped up. Was that in your mind to hit the entire time? You weren't going to go for anything else?
Yeah, I figured why not? Let's just try and end it.
Yeah, well, and you certainly did.
Because you went for the smallest target possible, and you did it. So congratulations. It was awesome.
Thank you.
And thank you for everything you do for the kids program also.
Well, guess what? That wraps up our very first ever 5 weeks of this amazing Cool FM Live Smashers On Open, just the whole in-range experience here.
Yeah.
It's waiting for you. That's the most important part.
Absolutely.
All these people here, they've all tried it and they all enjoy it, and you will as well. Whether you're a golfer or not, it doesn't matter. They'll provide you a club to come out here and just have a great old time. Joe, this was an awesome first season
Absolutely.
here
No
of
doubt.
this.
There's more to come.
That's so cool. So, I don't know if I was trying to hear what they were saying there. And yeah, Maddie Jackson was the champion, all of that. So that was the playoffs. That was the playoffs where they'd gone through and they tied at the very end of their championship at the 4th round or the 3rd round, and playing sudden death golf. That was the 2nd round of sudden death. Mm-hmm. And Maddie, the most incredible thing. So for $1,000, she aims for the small target rather than the big target, and she hits it. It was incredible, super job by everybody. So Colin McCarty, Jeff Davenport played. That was really cool. He actually made it to the 2nd round, and Andrew Griesmer made 2nd place. And yeah, nice kid, very cool. And then Maddie MJ. Maddie Jackson wins the $1,000 there.
Stole the show in clutch fashion as well, too.
Dude, it was so. I couldn't explain it. It was so cool that instead of she could have won with just about anything, and she went for the bullseye. It was ridiculous. Yeah, it was the smallest target on the field, and she went for that one. So that was really cool. I suggest you guys come out when we get that going again. You get a full hour to play, and you can play for money. So it's going to be a different format this next time, but it's going to be very cool. I'm looking forward to it. What else we got going on?
Next segment.
The next segment. All right, let's see what that. Oh, on the field, the interviews.
More Jeff Davenport. Should be Jeff Davenport talking to a few athlete of the week, or a couple athletes, right?
Chase and Caden.
Chase and Caden look like some soccer stars.
We are live in the Cool FM studios here in Sierra Vista to talk to two athletes. Believe it or not, we get to talk to two student athletes of the month. Everybody say hello to Chase Taylor. Everybody say hello. You're saying hello right now in the live chat. And everybody say hello to Caden Kniffel. Caden, good to see you. Chase, great to see you guys. Oh my gosh. So you guys have basically been playing competitive soccer for your entire life. Has that been the only sport that you focused on so far, or have you done other sports as well?
I've done other sports. I played basketball, but that was it. I didn't take anything competitively as much as I did soccer. So that was all I did is soccer growing up. That's it.
Amazing. And Caden, for yourself, what other sports do you enjoy playing?
All I did was soccer, but recently I've had maybe thought of playing track because of my speed, but that's it. Mostly just soccer.
It's interesting. I think there is a big correlation between soccer and track. They do say during a soccer game you basically run the equivalent of a marathon every soccer game. So would you, with your speed, would you look for, if you were to look at track, would you look at something more long distance, or would you look at maybe a 400 meter or a 100 meter, something short sprint distance?
I would probably look for a 200 meter because I can't run that far, like really fast. It's mostly just my initial speed.
The starting speed, the 0 to 60, if you will. Yeah. That's awesome. Let's talk about where you played. So for the last 3 years, you guys have been a part of RSL in Phoenix. We'll talk about RSL and what it is and how you got there. What did you do before RSL 3 years ago? Which teams did you play for down here?
I played for Sierra Vista Soccer Club. I don't think it's going anymore, but that's what I played. I grew up with all my friends. I actually played with him even before. We didn't really know each other. We were just on the same team, you know. We just played together. It was fun. I just went out there to have fun. That was it. It wasn't really like, this is what's going to be my life in the next 3 years. This is how it's going to be. You went out and you played and you went home and you played video games. That's how it was. And yeah, it was a good, I had a great time with that team. And
Caden, how about you? Which club teams around here, or which school teams did you play with and play for?
I played a bunch of rec when I was little, and then I joined it was called the Sounders, which that was the team that we played on for I think about a year. Yeah. And then I left that. I went to CAC. Coronado. I played that for about a year, and then I got the chance to play with RSL.
Well, let's talk about that. How does the chance to play for RSL come about? Do you just decide, hey, I've reached the peak that I can do at Coronado?
Great interview, as always, by Jeff. Man, talking to those kids, Chase and Caden.
Yes.
About soccer and what's going on in their lives.
Yeah, so, it's good too. I mean, athletes of the week, I believe that's something that we'll do on a regular basis and highlight different athletes from around the county and not just during the school year, but even the summer. There's a lot of sports activities going on. So there's still a lot of athletes out there to highlight them doing great things and representing Sierra Vista, representing Cochise County. So good job to those guys, and be on the lookout for more highlights and athletes of the week.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Now, the reason why we brought we bring Julian in is for his basketball expertise. We got you for that too, but Julian is our NBA expert. Like, he knows more about it than currently. Like, I don't know these guys' names. I mean, I know the big names, but like this guy, yeah. So let's take it off.
So I think we should start off with, the biggest headline of the week, Game 7 of the NBA Finals.
Oh, the championship, Game 7. So that's the very pinnacle. It's a 7-game series, 3 teams, 3 wins apiece.
So it was the first Game 7 in 9 years since 2016 with the Warriors and the Cavs. And
that was
ridiculous. First Game 7 in the finals.
There's been more Game 7s in this year's playoffs, I think, ever. So really competitive season. Of course, it should end in a championship series in Game 7 as well, too. So.
And, in my opinion, it was probably the saddest sports moment I've ever seen live, with Tyrese Halliburton tearing his Achilles. You saw the slow motion replay and just
I
popped.
can't watch it. Yeah, no, that kind of stuff kills me.
Yeah, I mean, you see it happen live on the TV. Game's still going on. Okay, he's on the floor, but then they pan the camera to him. He's just like yelling on the ground, crying.
The thing is back in my day, an Achilles, so you could get an ACL, you could tear a meniscus, you could do, there's a lot of Tommy John surgery. Tommy John was one that they were always like, you can't really play baseball ever again. And there's injuries that, you can come back from, and Achilles was the killer.
Yeah.
That was the all-time, nope.
It is the worst injury an athlete can get.
Yeah, and so that little strap going from his heel to his calf tore, and he was laying in pain, and that was in the first quarter. He had 9 minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes. He had 9 points in 5 minutes.
When you say it was the saddest moment, and it truly was, not, I'm sure for Pacers fans, everybody in Indiana,
I was rooting for the Pacers too.
Terrible, that gut punch. But I think for all basketball fans, I didn't have any dog in the fight. I just wanted to see a good game, and I knew it was going to be one because Tyrese Halliburton has shown up in every clutch game, every clutch situation throughout this whole offseason. Oklahoma City was the clear favorite to win this series. Before the series started, a lot of people thought the Thunder would sweep the Pacers. So
5 games,
the fact that it kept getting this and it got to a Game 7, you had to think hey, is this really about to happen? Is Halliburton really about to do this again? And the way it started, I mean, he was hitting 3-pointers from deep. It was looking like, wow, this is going to be awesome. I don't know what I'm about to see.
Yeah, it was going to be one of the. It was shaping up to be one of the greatest games.
Yeah, and then for that to happen, and then for it to be the Achilles, and to know that next season you're out
for a whole year. That's a 12-month injury. I mean, there have been people that have come back in 9 months, but those were freaks.
And he had the calf strain, and a lot of people are going to say, well, when you come back from a calf strain too soon, you're open yourself up for that. But it's Game 7.
I think anybody in that situation is lacing up.
He didn't regret it.
Seriously.
He doesn't regret it. That's the thing, is all of these terrible injuries, all of these stories, I just keep thinking, if there's always a terrible story for every athlete has a story, and you have to overcome something, and that's one of the hardest ones to have a career, just skyrocketing. The most clutch player, I think you were the one that was sharing with me how clutch of a player he is. And for the most clutch guy, I'm like, man, I'd rather have the most clutch guy than the MVP. That guy was ending games.
He's shown that throughout these playoffs, because every matchup that they had in each round, he had to face somebody who's supposedly better than him.
Exactly.
So, and he would end up winning those games and winning those series. So yeah, there's a lot of truth to that. So that's a sad outcome, I guess. But you still can't take anything away from the Thunder. Of course not. It's not one of those where you say, hey, well, they only won because this guy got hurt.
They won by, 7 or 8 points? It was,
in this Game 7, I think it was more than that.
Yeah, it was more than that.
Double digits.
It wasn't close enough by the end.
And to it goes to show how valuable Halliburton was, and it goes to, and you can also see that Oklahoma City didn't take their foot off the gas. Like, they are a championship level team, even if the other team had one player that was just carrying them the whole way. And you could see that Indiana actually played really well, really well. They were holding it together, and then the fourth quarter they just couldn't manage carrying all that weight without Halliburton.
Probably emotionally tough for their team.
Oh God.
And to be able to play a team as good as Oklahoma City in their
the championship
at their home, where the energy is electric. I mean, there was times in that game where there's a foul called and you can't even hear the whistle because they're so loud in there. It's just a lot to ask.
It is just a once in a lifetime moment. There's only been 20 NBA Finals Game 7s in history.
Wow.
The home team has took 16 of those, so 16-4.
Wouldn't it be great to win on the opponents? As a championship.
I've always liked trying to win on my own home floor. I feel like even if you're the better team, you got to make it a gentleman's sweep. Let them get one game so you can win Game 5 at home. But no, you can't take anything away from the Thunder. They were a great team all year. They had the best record. They had the best player. This guy won the scoring title, MVP, and Finals MVP.
Western Conference MVP.
Western Conference MVP, Western Conference champs. So you can't say they only won because of this injury or that injury.
If the Pacers win, Halliburton gets that MVP, though, don't you think?
For me, it's
either him or Siakam.
Really?
I'm gonna throw a sleeper, T.J. McConnell.
Oh yeah,
T.J. McConnell was amazing the whole series.
He was, but I don't know if enough to win MVP. But in a lot of ways, even in that game, it felt when Halliburton got hurt, there was times where McConnell was like, "We're okay. I'm gonna do this," and he wasn't missing.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember, he had that 12-point burst by himself. And the Thunder couldn't do anything about it.
They couldn't guard him. I'm like, it makes you wonder, should he play more?
Yes.
McConnell.
Of course he should.
No, but do you remember, sometimes those bench guys are like, Dennis Johnson, I'm telling you, these guys that come off the bench sometimes are better scorers. I would rather have a guy that's a top scorer come off the bench and just light up the whole back end of the team's backups.
That's a very common strategy in the NBA, and even in college. You have an all offensive guy. You can put him in as a sixth man because he can go in and score. Sometimes that guy doesn't mesh well with the other.
Who was the guy from the Mavericks? There was the Argentinian guy that played point guard. He was tiny. He was like 5'9".
Oh, JJ Barea.
Yes. So that guy, I always think it's but that's what I'm saying. Like the spark guy. Those. And
Jamal Crawford is a great example.
Oh man.
Lou Will.
Lou. So there's a lot of those guys, and some of those guys have starting positions, and I'm always like, those guys shouldn't be the starters. They could close. Maybe they should be closing, but they shouldn't be starting. Like, put a guy that plays the entire game.
Usually it's somebody that doesn't play defense. It's a non-defensive guy, but he could score, so you don't want him guarding the other team's best players
he's gonna
and stuff like that.
Big old hole in the middle.
But T.J. McConnell is somebody that can defend, too. Like, he makes plays on both sides of the ball.
Steals. Oh, my gosh.
He should probably, I don't know if it's just like short burst for him where he's good, but it always feels like when he goes out of the game that he should play more.
Wow.
So I don't know. But and he's a U of A guy, right?
I saw this stat about T.J. McConnell. Tyrese Halliburton is more of like a distributor guy, and T.J. McConnell actually has a higher usage rate than Tyrese Halliburton. He has the ball in his hands more than Tyrese Halliburton.
Okay.
You always see T.J. McConnell doing the Nash dribble under the basket, looking for people.
Yeah, that's
really?
True.
He does that?
Tyrese is like hockey assists.
Okay. So, the quick slasher. He hits those guys moving, and McConnell is the mover that gets people, that opens up the lane. And that's two different strategies. That's actually a really good point that you point out, that like you've got two different high passing usage guys, and one is the guy that wants to pass all the time, and then there's the guy that passes to make the score.
He's just ultra aggressive. Maybe he plays in spurts because his motor is just on high the whole time.
All the time.
And you probably can't sustain that for a full game. And he's probably not as effective if his motor's not on high. You know, he's not a big guy or whatever. But yeah, shout out to TJ McConnell. I thought he had a great series, great season too. I mean, like he's probably made himself some money. I'm not sure what his contract situation is like, but he's underpaid, I bet.
Yeah.
If you're in the NBA, you're making money.
Yeah, of course. But he's probably going to make more. He did well for himself this season. His next contract's going to be bigger than this one is. So off-season NBA. So the NBA season stops. NBA draft is the week after, which is stupid, but whatever, fine, whatever. It's the only sport that does that, right?
Yeah, so close to the championship. It's kind of... I wish there was a little more time. Like the NFL championship goes, the Super Bowl, and then you've got the draft. Like, you know, you've got 2 months to kind of recuperate. But the thing about the NBA is that they play 9 months out of the season.
Yeah, and then you got summer league, you got preseason.
And you got to know who your team is.
So they kind of have to make it immediately after. Anyway, so the draft happens. Cooper Flagg, number 1, good Grady, probably the greatest, not the greatest player ever to come out, but like he's going to make a serious dent.
He's, I would say, a top 5 prospect this century coming out of college.
I would agree. So you got Wemby. you said this. I was like, oh gosh, Wemby and him.
Zion.
Wemby, Zion, LeBron.
I would put LeBron.
Is LeBron even in this decade at? Or you said century.
Yeah, I would say LeBron. I wouldn't put. I mean, there's guys that came out, like even Kobe came out in high school, but he wasn't good immediately. Gosh, who was good immediately?
Durant,
Grant Hill.
Yeah.
But so
I would
anyway,
say Blake Griffin, but he actually was injured that first year. And
he didn't play his whole first year.
It's something about those guys that do that. Embiid. You know who was actually decent, and he's not now. It's like weird, but Ben Simmons.
Yeah, his rookie year was great. His Rose didn't Rose win MVP his rookie year or something?
No, he's the youngest MVP.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But no, this draft was probably the best draft in the last maybe 20 years.
In a while.
Oh my God, the Blazers screw it all up. I don't know. I'm a Blazer lover.
He's a Blazers fan.
Yeah.
Not happy with what your team's decisions. I mean, they made some off-season moves.
Yeah, and they know. So the thing about the Blazers is Portland sucks, right? And I mean Portland as the town. Living there is awful. It's rainy. It's gross. If you're a basketball player and you were choosing the place that you're going to go, do you want to go to a nasty little town in northern Oregon? Yeah, you got the Columbia River Gorge. Yeah. It's bad weather. It's no fun. There isn't anything to do there. It's like Sierra Vista with bad weather, imagine. So
you're a millionaire superstar NBA player. You can go anywhere you want. Probably not, but there's also Cleveland that I'm probably not going to go to.
I'd take Cleveland. I'd take Minnesota.
I probably wouldn't go to either one of those places.
Oh, dude, I'd go to Minnesota. Man.
I mean, Minnesota now with their team and the roster, I would.
Well, no, the city, I think the city, Portland is so gross. So
so they have to draft well, is what you're saying.
Nobody wants to go there. Better draft well. And, I mean, they draft really high potential. That's really kind of the cool thing. But, in their history, they haven't been able to, they've had Lillard, but I never loved his game. I liked him. Anyway, we'll go through the Blazers some other time. I just didn't like their picks.
Well,
but typically when I don't like their picks, they turn out really well.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
So maybe. So locally, I know a lot of people here are Phoenix Suns fans.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
What did you think about Phoenix?
Oh my gosh, Phoenix. They
love the bigs, right?
Oh my gosh! Their management said they're not dealing with a big man problem anymore. They're gonna have big man. And you could see it. They chose with the number 10 pick from the Houston Rockets. Kaman Maluak, who was maybe the best big
from Duke.
Good Lord.
Who may be the best big man in the draft. A defensive 7'1", 7'2"
Isn't he only like 19?
He's young.
Yeah. But he's been playing basketball since he was like 10 years old or younger.
That's a great pick.
Player.
And then they got Mark Williams
from the Hornets.
Yeah.
And they traded
a pick.
They traded
32 or something.
Yeah, there was
obviously the move KD. That's a
Yeah, that was
yes.
Well, wasn't that a pretty big?
Oh yeah,
situation?
we can talk about that after the draft.
Yeah. Okay. So the draft.
I think the other big key pieces of the draft. Obviously, we talked about Cooper Flagg, generational player. They're saying he. Just to even say that, I heard someone say he's the best player to ever come out of Duke. Even that is that's huge.
Grant Hill,
Duke,
Zion.
Yeah, no, dude,
Duke has put so many. Kyrie. I mean, like,
Kyrie,
there's so many all-time greats that come from Duke. To say that this guy might be better than all those, look out. And then Dylan Harper going number 2 to the Spurs. I think that is something that is getting overlooked for how the Spurs are building a dynasty, much like the Oklahoma City Thunder did 2 or 3 years ago. Look out for the Spurs to be on that same
trajectory.
Trajectory. Maybe even better, because what kind of fast-paced the Thunder for being so good is SGA's development. I don't think anybody knew that he was going to turn into a MVP caliber player, right? But he did. Everybody can see that Wemby is going to be a future MVP caliber player. So you pair that to what they got the last year's Rookie of the Year.
Ron Harper's
Julian made the point that
I didn't know that.
You made the point that the Spurs have the opportunity to have 3 Rookie of the Years in a row, possibly, if Dylan Harper can pull that off. I think it'll be hard with Cooper Flagg and all the hype that he has, but still.
And I think what the Spurs are looking for might be a guard to come off the bench for De'Aaron Fox, because Dylan Harper is the best pick and roll guy in this draft, and a Dylan Harper, a Wemby pick and roll, that's dangerous.
That's really dangerous.
Yeah.
Is he a point guard or a shooting guard?
More of a point guard.
Yeah.
Wow, he can play both.
But he has the size. He's like
he got
6'6",
size.
so he can play.
He's bigger than his dad was. His dad was 6'5" or 6'6".
Yeah, and his dad was a big defensive
He
guard.
was awesome. I loved Ron Harper's game.
And De'Aaron Fox is still an all-star caliber point guard.
And I think Wemby's been the best defensive player in the league since he got in the NBA, and it's not even close. So.
And he's just now getting to the point where all of these players that we're talking about, Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper, all these great players, you're not going to really get to see their greatness until they're about 3 or 4 years into the league, and that's right where Wemby's at right now. So we're gonna, look out for the Spurs. The other key draft thing I would point out that kind of stuck out was this Ace Bailey situation.
Ooh.
Yeah, it doesn't want to.
He got drafted by the Utah Jazz. Apparently, he didn't want to go there. He didn't work out for them.
Yeah.
They put rumors out through his agents and his camp that do not draft me. I do not want to go there. So what do? Draft him.
I love it.
Draft him. Not to trade,
but I love that.
Draft him anyways.
Yeah.
And it's weird with Ace Bailey. He wanted to go to the Washington Wizards.
I don't understand that, because they're terrible.
He wants to be in a
and
big
they're a
city.
terrible organization. At least Utah has a track record of being a
they'll
good
develop
organization.
him. He's going to be a stud out there. You Mitchell, like Donovan Mitchell, that guy wasn't supposed to be very good. They love taking those mid-round guys and just boosting them up. They love developing those guys. I mean,
I think they're
not bad for
they
very
may be
long.
getting ready to tank this season. They're kind of getting rid of some of their.
And Ace Bailey is the best tough shot maker in this draft.
Yeah.
Wow.
And another thing, the Utah Jazz also got Walter Clayton Jr.
Yeah. And I like him. He's a
and on the airplane to go to Utah, Walter Clayton went, but Ace Bailey didn't. So.
Say that again.
They had a plane.
Didn't make the trip to
Oh
Utah.
yeah, he's trying to force his way out.
Yeah, and he may do that. I don't know.
I don't know why they're doing this as a rookie.
Well, you saw the kid that's making $150,000 more or less in the NBA than he made in college.
From the NIL.
So you're like, I mean, does he go back? You could just.
I don't think you can go back anymore. Once you have to pick one. Once the combine comes around, if you do the combine, you can't return to college.
It used to be if you hired an agent. Now with NIL, you can have an agent, but you just can't. Is it combine? Is it combine that you can't do? I thought
if you do the combine, you can't return back.
Okay. Either way,
because you've already done something on the professional level.
Right. So, but
it's just
that's
interesting having.
Dude, that's a huge.
And another thing about this draft was there was so much emotion in it. Like a lot of the players, they're so emotional when hearing their names called. They have their families, a lot of family members crying, a lot of just pure raw emotion, more from this draft than I've seen in a while. And for it to be like that for most players, and then have one kid who's like, I don't care that I got drafted third. I don't want to go to that team, or fourth. I don't want to go to the fifth. Okay. I don't want to go to that team, and I'm not happy about it. When all these other guys are just happy as could be to get anywhere.
I think Kaman Malawak was the standout the most.
My gosh, he was so emotional.
He was crying with a smile on his face with the picture holding the commissioner's hand. So
he wants to be playing ball. You can see some guys want to be there wearing their suit and get the accolades and the the bling, and then there's some dudes that are there that are playing for family members and playing for their villages and stuff like that.
You got VJ Edgecombe.
I love VJ Edgecombe. I think he's a better defender than Cooper Flagg, but I think Cooper
probably
Flagg's a better
the
player,
best athlete in the draft. You saw his interview after the draft. He's talking about how he lived on a generator for 7 years.
See,
like he's crying, doing it for his mom. From the Bahamas. So just these nice stories of these kids making it out to the professional level.
When they make it out, they're lifting their communities. That's the thing is some people come out of such terrible situations and they are kind of saviors in their own hometown. Yeah. And even if they're like a backup, they're still making a ton of money when they go home. They spend that money in their town and invest in the.
They're celebrities in their own.
For sure.
Hometown.
Dude, I still talk about all the guys that I played Pac-10 ball with. I'm like, I can't believe I played.
And Pac-10. You could say some names that we wouldn't even know who they are because they never. But because in your hometown they were legends, right?
When played pro ball.
Yeah, man. And
you guys got some here. That Hall kid. Derek Hall.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Right.
And Don Fry, you got a Hall of Famer here. Holy smokes.
That's what I'm saying. So it was a great deal. Overall, phenomenal draft from top to bottom. The talent that was there, the appreciation from most of the players and their families. The coverage was good. It was a draft that we could follow because a lot of college players were drafted that we're familiar with. Sometimes, like last year's draft, the first few picks were like, who is this?
Yeah.
Who is this? Because they're from France or wherever.
They said this is the best draft in 8 years. They said, like, top to bottom, there's more value in this draft.
There's an insane amount of good players. They're definitely going to have a lot of all-stars.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Walter Clayton Jr., who got drafted by Utah Jazz, like, way late.
It was like 28 or something.
And this is a guy who was the best player on the championship team.
Yes.
Florida Gators, who, ran through the SEC season, ran through the tournament, beat Duke, beat everybody, and he's the guy, and he's getting drafted this late.
There's giant killers out there, and they're, when you find one of those guys, you want. Actually, I kind of feel like Halliburton's a little bit of a giant killer.
He is. Oh, he definitely. He's probably the poster child for giant killers right now. Like, I can't think of one that's better right now.
Like, even in the second round, you have Janai Broome going to the Sixers.
I was surprised he didn't go in the first round. I'm like, what's the story?
Maybe it's his
athleticism.
Maybe his game doesn't translate as well. He's kind of like a post player, kind of a little undersized for a post player. But you got Elijah Martin, who was on Florida as well, like a dog type player. You got Chaz Lanier, shooter.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Tyrese Proctor.
Yeah.
And these guys.
The Duke guy.
Yes. Like, in the second round, just insane.
Yeah.
And also on a more local note, Carter Bryant to the Spurs with the 14th pick, last pick of the lottery.
And he is a long, athletic guy that can score, defend. Like, come on.
And Caleb Love too, signing a 2-way contract to.
Did he get? I thought he didn't get drafted. Oh, he just got signed.
He signed to a 2-way contract. But I forgot to which team, but might have been Portland.
Oh gosh, that'd be great. I mean, someone wants to go there.
Man, they drafted. Caleb Love didn't even get drafted, but he got signed. I don't know if you know about the. What's his name? I can't think of his name right now, but Hans something.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He has one arm.
What?
Oh no, that was a false rumor.
He didn't get signed
to the Rockets. That was a false rumor.
Really?
Yeah, that's very unfortunate.
That was sad.
You're telling me that
I thought he really got a 2-way.
Yeah, that would have been amazing. Hansel Emmanuel.
Yeah, Emmanuel.
Does he have one arm?
He has one arm, and he played.
And his name is what?
Hansel Emmanuel.
Hansel.
No D.
Wow.
But honestly, he's really good.
I'm sure you gotta be like pretty good if you're going D1.
Yeah, he's like that, but
And he can shoot with one arm. No, I've told people that you can you can teach a perfect shooting stroke just by forcing a person to shoot one arm, and then you add in the second hand.
I did not know that was false. I really thought that.
I
was
wish
real.
it would have been true. That would have been great for him.
Me too. Well, he'll probably play somewhere overseas or something like that. So.
Way athletic.
And as you were saying, you were happy with the Phoenix Suns draft.
Oh yeah.
You were?
Well,
okay.
Okay. I like the Suns, but I'm a KD fan first.
Okay, so now you're a Rockets fan.
Oh yeah, Rockets and 4. We can talk about this trade. The Suns sending away Kevin Durant for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, 5 second-round picks, and the first-round pick, the 10th pick in this year's draft from the Rockets. To be honest, I don't know how I feel about that trade if I'm the Suns. Obviously, now after getting Kamal Malawak and watching him drop to the 10th pick, it's great. But you're getting Jalen Green, who's another shooting guard, when you already have 2 prolific shooting guard scorers, and you have Dylan Brooks.
Like Booker. I do not like Booker. I would get rid of him.
What?
No defense, man. His defense is so gross.
He can play defense.
He can.
No, that's not.
The word is can. Won't is more his style, though.
He's one of the better shooting guards in the NBA.
He's one of, if not the best shooting guard.
Yeah, I would. I like Durant. I don't like Brooks. I'm the only, but I also didn't like Lillard. You know, I don't like the most popular players on teams. But he's one.
For me, I didn't like Bradley Beal.
Oh, I don't like him either.
Yeah,
no.
But a lot of Phoenix fans are upset or frustrated with Bradley Beal.
But the Suns are looking to reroute Jalen Green, maybe get some trade value from him. But I don't know how many teams want an inconsistent scorer who takes bad shots.
Oh yeah, that
yes,
guy.
He's 4 years in, but he hasn't shown much in these 4 years. Obviously, he can still develop. But
let me ask you this: who do you think has more trade value, Bradley Beal or Jalen Green?
I would say Jalen Green does.
Me too. And you can't, because I guess I should say, who's the better player, Jalen Green or Bradley Beal?
I would say right now I'd rather have Bradley Beal on my team.
Really?
But I feel like Jalen Green has more upside because of how many years he has left.
Beal's a pretty good passer.
I'm just not sold on Bradley Beal being as good. I've always thought he was overrated. In the last couple seasons, I've confirmed it for me.
Yeah.
But Jalen Green, I think he's better than. And
how old is he?
Bradley Beal.
He's like 24.
Something like that. That guy's got probably 3 more years before he's got to figure out exactly who he is.
His athleticism is up there. Houston was the number 2 seed in the West last year. They had a phenomenal season.
Yeah, they did.
You know, they didn't win and advance in the playoffs, but
because they played a great 7-seed Warriors team who was not supposed to be a 7-seed.
And honestly, all these teams have to go through these growing pains. Even the Thunder, who just are the NBA champions, they were a high seed the year previous and they lost in the playoffs.
What we've learned,
kind of like a rite of passage.
What we've learned is playoffs are totally different than the regular season. It's a different. It shouldn't even be the same game because it's 7 games playing the same team.
Yep.
It's grinding it out. Who can win? NBA regular season, you can just throw it at the wall. The stats are all over the place. Someone's MVP. Someone's like, I don't know. They can't figure anything out. And the game is totally different. You're not playing for blood. You're not playing for a championship. You can sit a guy You're playing all your home games with all your good players. You go away and you don't really care as much.
It's the adjustments that the teams have to make. You have to make adjustments to the team. Based on how they play, you have to make adjustments based on how they might play.
And it's the end of the season.
Insane.
Everybody's injured. If these guys were playing this, month in October, November, December, when they're warming up and playing their top basketball, that's another thing too. 82 games, they've worn themselves out. Now it's like I tell people all the time, the Chiefs play regular season football and then they play playoff, and they are built for playoffs.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, we've been here for an hour. Good Lord, I know Dan his butt's sore over there, so we're
giving him basketball education here.
He's fell asleep. All right. Is there anything else we want to do, or are we good?
No, I think we're good till next week.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Cool FM Live Sports Show. We will be back again next week with another episode. Bless you.